Brainstorming is an interesting exercise that not everyone is necessarily familiar with, and so I'd like to just quickly introduce what it is and give some insights as to how it can be beneficial. Brainstorming in some cultures is just something that they've never experienced, and so in having a meeting where you're actually going to volunteer, let's think this through, let's think outside the box, let's consider things that aren't normal today or perhaps in place. Let's not do the logical, but let's kind of imagine or brainstorm what it could be if we didn't have certain limitations or boundaries that we may see right now. As you introduce brainstorming, one of the things that becomes really apparent is the fact that brainstorming is meant to say, let's just dream a little. Let's imagine something that maybe is fanciful right now, but could one day be possible. Now, in introducing brainstorming, some people may have never experienced it. They may have never participated in a conversation like this. So it's important to set some real quick ground rules. First of all, what are we brainstorming about? What's the topic at hand? What's the thing we're trying to address or be creative about? The second thing is, what are we going to do time-wise? How much are we going to commit to this? Are we just brainstorming for the next 15 minutes, next 60 minutes? Now, obviously, it could end early because everyone's just not really coming up with creative ideas, or it could actually go a little longer because the ideas are just popping, and that's wonderful. But just kind of give some context to for how long are we going to do this. But here's the one thing that I do want to stress is it's a great idea to have kind of someone leading the discussion, someone that's great at getting people to divulge more, ask the questions, why, that's interesting, tell me more, tell me more. That individual who's facilitating the meeting needs to be creating a safe environment where they're able to encourage people to give those ideas and suggestions. The other person that may be involved is the individual that's going to be taking notes or capturing these ideas as they come off, because they may come off very quickly, and that's wonderful. But the thing that's perhaps the most important about this whole exercise is the removal of critique or criticism. As the ideas come, no one should ever say either that's a great idea or that's a bad idea or that's dumb, that's unrealistic, that's impossible. The whole idea is to come up with the ridiculous, the impossible, the crazy ideas. That's what you want out there. The things that aren't obvious is what's really going to be helpful here. So we want to not make someone feel embarrassed or put down for something that they're thinking about. In fact, it may be that crazy idea that leads to the next statement, and the next statement that really could be the answer. So we want those ideas to be free flowing. What we'll do is then when we're finished with the brainstorming activity is then we'll take the time to kind of organize as well as categorize or prioritize these ideas that came out as, I like this one makes sense, this one goes with that one, this one I don't understand and I don't really see it being possible. And so for that reason, you can later kind of clean up the list and come up with what the priority is now to move forward, the action items, and who's going to be delegated or given responsibilities to move these forward. But brainstorming in some cultures isn't natural. It's possibly something that's very confusing because there's a hierarchical kind of responsibility. I don't speak unless spoken to. I don't volunteer information unless I'm asked. I'm my boss or these other individuals that are perhaps senior of myself, they need to come up with the ideas, not me. And so in some instances, these people need to be invited, told, we would like your participation. We expect that you'll contribute. We want to hear what you're thinking. We need your perspective. Your way of seeing this is different than ours. We need to get your insight. Sometimes you need to draw that out. And so in a brainstorming exercise, you need to realize, whether it be inside of your own work environment, in your business, in your culture, or outside, we want to have these two individuals, someone that can lead the discussion and pull these things out of everyone, have everyone participate, come up with the crazy, insane, audacious ideas, and then later we can organize them, prioritize them, and delegate them out as to what's next. Just understand this. Brainstorming is a wonderful way of breaking out of the norm and expanding what you're able to do. And I invite you to take advantage of this and literally do this exercise as you plan things in your own company, your own life, and look forward into the future. So understand this. If it's about business, it's universal. Take care.